Before we dive into today's surprising discovery, make sure to like and subscribe to Blood Sugar Blueprint. We're here to bring you the latest, most eye-opening health tips designed to help you take control of your blood sugar journey. If you're managing diabetes or supporting someone who is, this is the place for you. So picture this. After years of dealing with frustrating blood sugar spikes, finger pricks, medications that barely worked, and the constant mental drain that comes with managing diabetes, one man tried something completely unexpected, a supplement. Not one of the usual suspects either, not cinnamon, not chromium. This was something that most people, even in the diabetic community, had completely overlooked, and within weeks he noticed a change, a real measurable change. What was this supplement? And more importantly, why hasn't the world heard more about it? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain. Now, before we name it, we want to challenge you. Think of one supplement you've never seen on diabetes YouTube channels. One that you've maybe heard mentioned in passing, maybe in a random article or buried in a Reddit thread, but never thought to take seriously. Drop it in the comments and explain why you think it might help blood sugar, because by the end of this video, you might find your guess wasn't too far off, or maybe it'll blow your mind. But here's the twist. We're not just talking about what works. We're also going to show you why it works, backed by science, and help you understand how to figure out if it's right for you. Because when it comes to supplements, there's no such thing as one size fits all. See, most diabetics are told the same thing. Take metformin, watch your diet, try to exercise more. All solid advice. Don't get us wrong, but what about those who do all of that and still struggle? What if there are nutritional deficiencies or hidden metabolic imbalances that medication alone can't address? That's where supplements can play a powerful role. But here's the problem. The supplement industry is flooded with overhyped, under-tested, and frankly misleading products. And that's what makes today's story so different. Because this isn't about chasing a miracle. This is about understanding why something works and how it could fit into a broader strategy for managing diabetes. Let's introduce you to Michael. He's 56, diagnosed with type 2 diabetes nearly a decade ago. He tried everything: low-carb diets, intermittent fasting, every supplement Amazon recommended, and he was still struggling until he stumbled upon a study completely by accident on a nutrient called berberine. Never heard of it? Most people haven't. Berberine is a compound extracted from a group of plants including barberry and golden seal. It's been used in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries, but only recently caught the attention of researchers in the West. Michael started reading, then he asked his doctor about it, then he tried it. And within 90 days, something incredible happened. Now, we're not saying he reversed diabetes, but the numbers don't lie. Coming up, we'll break down exactly what berberine is, what it does in your body, and why it might just be one of the most overlooked tools in diabetic management. Stay with us. Let's talk about what happened to Michael after he started taking berberine. By the end of the first month, his fasting blood sugar, which had hovered in the 160s, dropped to the 130s. By month 2, it was consistently under 120. And by month 3, he was waking up to numbers he hadn't seen since before his diagnosis. Low 100s, sometimes even high 90s. Was he still taking his medication? Yes. Was he eating better and staying active? Also yes. But here's the thing. Those changes alone hadn't moved the needle in months. Berberine was the new variable. And it wasn't just his meter readings that changed. His energy improved, his brain fog cleared, and his A1C dropped by a full point in 1/4. So what makes berberine so powerful? At its core, berberine works a lot like metformin. It activates an enzyme called AMPK, often referred to as the body's metabolic master switch. When AMPK is activated, your cells become more efficient at absorbing glucose, reducing insulin resistance, and improving overall metabolic function. In simple terms, it helps your body use sugar the right way. What's wild is that multiple studies have compared berberine directly to metformin, and in some cases found them to be equally effective in lowering blood glucose levels. But before you start ordering a bottle online, slow down. This isn't a magic bullet, and it's not for everyone. One thing that often gets overlooked is dosage and absorption. Berberine has poor bioavailability, which means your body doesn't absorb it very easily. That's why it's often recommended to take it in divided doses throughout the day, usually 500 milligrams 2 to 3 times daily with meals. Some people also experience digestive issues when first starting out, things like cramping, vomiting, nausea, or loose stools. Michael did too, but he eased into it, starting with just one capsule a day before increasing his intake, and eventually his body adjusted. And just like any supplement, Berberine can interact with medications, especially those that already lower blood sugar. So always, and we do mean always, talk to your doctor before trying something new. Now here's where things get really interesting. Most people assume diabetes management is all about blood sugar, and yes, that's the primary metric, but Berberine has also shown benefits in lowering cholesterol, reducing triglycerides, and even improving gut health, things that are often connected in ways we don't fully realize. Michael said he didn't just feel less diabetic, he felt lighter, more clear-headed, more like himself. And the biggest surprise, he started sleeping better, which, if you've lived with diabetes, you know is a game changer. Why? Because blood sugar and sleep are deeply intertwined. High glucose can disrupt your circadian rhythm, trigger night sweats, and cause you to wake up feeling groggy. So when Berberine helped level things out, his sleep naturally followed. But here's what really stood out. Michael wasn't chasing a miracle anymore. He was building a system: diet, movement, medication, mindset, and now a supplement that actually supported what he was already doing. That's the key. A supplement should support, not replace your efforts. And here's the hard truth. Not every supplement works for everybody. In fact, Berberine might not work for you at all. And that's okay. Coming up next, we'll explore why some popular supplements might actually backfire for certain diabetics, and what to look for when choosing the right fit for your own biology. So now we have to talk about the flip side. Just because a supplement worked wonders for Michael doesn't mean it'll do the same for everyone. And this is where a lot of people get frustrated. They try something they heard about online, expect to see immediate results, and when nothing happens, or worse, they feel worse, they give up. Here's why that happens. Diabetes isn't one disease. It's a complex evolving condition influenced by dozens of factors: genetics, gut health, stress levels, sleep quality, even past medications. That's why two people can have the same A1C, but completely different symptoms and responses to treatment. Take alpha lipoic acid, for example. It's another supplement that gets a lot of praise. Studies show it can help with insulin sensitivity and reduce nerve pain, but in some people, it can actually cause a drop in blood sugar that's too steep, especially if they're already on medication. Others might feel jittery, lightheaded, or nauseous. Then there's cinnamon, arguably the most talked about supplement in the diabetes world. Some people swear by it, claiming it helps keep their post-meal glucose spikes under control, but for others, it does absolutely nothing. That's because not all cinnamon is created equal. The type you get at the grocery store, usually cassia cinnamon, which contains a compound called coumarin. Too much of that can be harmful to the liver. The kind studied in clinical trials, usually Ceylon cinnamon, much harder to find and more expensive. It's details like that which make or break your results. Another example, Gymnema sylvestre. Some call it the sugar destroyer because it literally blocks sugar receptors on your taste buds and helps reduce sugar absorption in the gut. But if you're not eating a high sugar diet in the first place, it might not make much of a difference. And in some rare cases, it can interfere with thyroid function. That's why it's so important to move past the hype and start asking better questions, like, what's my primary struggle? Fasting blood sugar or post-meal spikes, energy crashes, insulin resistance, inflammation. Because the supplement that works for someone managing prediabetes may be totally ineffective or even dangerous for someone with advanced type 2 or brittle diabetes. That's why Michael's success with Berberine was never about just taking a capsule. It was about aligning his supplement choice with his body's needs, not someone else's. And that's also why we want to equip you with more than just one name, because even if Berberine isn't right for you, there are other options that are backed by science and could be worth discussing with your doctor. Coming up next, we'll reveal 5 of the most promising supplements for diabetes support, ones that have actual clinical data behind them, and explain how each one works so you can decide which might fit your own health blueprint. Let's walk through 5 scientifically backed supplements that have shown real promise in supporting diabetic health. Remember, these aren't magic pills, but when paired with the right diet, lifestyle, and medical support, they can play a meaningful role. First up is magnesium. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzyme systems in the body, many of which directly influence blood sugar regulation. A surprising number of people with diabetes are deficient in it and don't even know it. Low magnesium levels can worsen insulin resistance and increase inflammation, both of which are already problems in diabetes. But when levels are restored, studies show improved fasting glucose, better A1C scores, and even reduced risk of diabetic complications. It's simple, it's affordable, and for some people, it's a total game changer. Next on the list is inositol, particularly myo-inositol and D-chiro-inositol. These are naturally occurring compounds found in fruits, beans, and grains. Think of them as insulin sensitizers. They help your cells respond more efficiently to insulin, which is crucial if you're struggling with insulin resistance. Inositol has been widely studied in women with PCOS, a condition deeply tied to insulin resistance, but it's also shown potential benefits for those with type 2 diabetes. Some even refer to it as the natural metformin, though it works differently. The bonus? It's also been linked to improved mood and reduced anxiety, which are often overlooked but very real parts of chronic illness. Then there's curcumin, the active compound in turmeric. This one gets a lot of attention, and for good reason. Curcumin is a powerful anti-inflammatory, and chronic inflammation is a major driver of insulin resistance. In people with type 2 diabetes, curcumin has been shown to lower blood sugar, improve lipid profiles, and even protect beta cells, the very cells in your pancreas that produce insulin. But just like berberine, absorption is a challenge. That's why you'll often see curcumin paired with black pepper extract or formulated as a liposomal supplement to improve how well it's absorbed by the body. The fourth one is omega-3 fatty acids. You might think of these as heart health supplements, and that's true, but they can also be a big deal for blood sugar control. Omega-3s help lower triglycerides, reduce inflammation, and may even improve insulin sensitivity over time. Diabetics are already at higher risk for cardiovascular issues, so adding a clean, high-quality fish oil supplement can hit two targets at once. Just make sure to look for third-party tested options that guarantee purity and potency. And finally, let's talk about CoQ10, short for coenzyme Q10. This one often flies under the radar, but it's essential for energy production at the cellular level. Some diabetes medications, like statins, can actually deplete CoQ10 in the body, which may contribute to fatigue, muscle pain, and even worsen blood sugar regulation. Supplementing with CoQ10 has been shown to support mitochondrial health, improve insulin sensitivity, and boost overall energy, something most people with diabetes could definitely use more of. Now, does this mean you should rush out and start taking all 5 of these at once? Not at all. The smartest approach is to pick 1 or 2 that match your specific challenges, talk to your doctor, and test the results over time. Pay attention to how you feel, track your numbers, and be patient. Because when you focus on long-term strategy instead of short-term hacks, that's when real change happens. So let's bring it back to Michael. He didn't find success because he stumbled across a supplement. He found success because he stopped looking for shortcuts and started looking for alignment between what his body needed and what science had to offer. Berberine wasn't his miracle. It was his missing piece. The piece that made all the other efforts finally click. And that's the biggest takeaway from this story. There's no magic pill. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. But there is power in knowledge, power in testing, tweaking, and trusting the process. When you understand what each supplement does, when you're willing to listen to your own body and track your progress without judgment, things start to shift. Maybe for you it's not berberine, maybe it's magnesium or curcumin, or maybe it's something even simpler, like fixing your sleep or healing your gut. Whatever the case, the real transformation comes when you build a system that works for you, not against you, and that's what Blood Sugar Blueprint is all about. Not chasing hype, but helping you understand your options so you can make smarter decisions, so you can ask better questions, so you can finally stop guessing and start building something sustainable. If you found this video helpful, or if you're just tired of feeling stuck in the same cycle, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got more stories, science, and strategies coming your way, because managing your blood sugar shouldn't feel impossible. It should feel like something you can take control of, one step at a time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.